Kirk Franklin calls him the future of gospel music.
His sound can be described as gospel, inspirational.
Jonathan McReynolds.
Few artists have made as profound an impact in such a short time as Jonathan McReynolds. With his soulful voice, introspective lyrics, an innovative blend of gospel, R&B, and folk, he has garnered critical acclaim, multiple awards, and a devoted following. However, behind the accolades and chart-topping albums lies the story of a man who often feels lonely and has been the target of many controversies. Jonathan Caleb McReynolds was born on September 17, 1989, in Chicago, Illinois.
I grew up in the ghetto, so it's only bad because it's the middle of the ghetto.
Raised by his mother, Gwen McReynolds, young Jonathan's world was steeped in faith and music from the very beginning. The pews of New Original Church of God in Christ became his second home, where the power of gospel music first took hold of his heart. As a child, Jonathan was shy and introverted, often finding solace in the melodies that filled the church sanctuary.
Man, I was quiet, know-it-all, smart aleck. I was a big nerd.
His mother, recognizing her son's innate musical talent, encouraged him to explore his gifts. At the tender age of 8, Jonathan began playing the drums, laying the rhythmic foundation for the church's worship services. But it was the piano that would ultimately capture Jonathan's imagination. Hours spent tinkering on an old keyboard in his bedroom gradually transformed into a passion that would shape the course of his life. By his early teens, Jonathan had become the church's primary pianist, his fingers dancing across the keys with a maturity beyond his years. Despite his growing musical prowess, Jonathan remained a quiet, studious child. He excelled in school. Jonathan's journey took a pivotal turn when he was accepted into Whitney M. Young Magnet High School, one of Chicago's most prestigious academic institutions. The school's diverse student body and rigorous curriculum challenged Jonathan to expand his horizons beyond the familiar confines of his church community. It was during these formative years that Jonathan began to seriously consider a career in music and to break out of his shell. In his small dorm room, he started recording his own songs. One of these songs, called No Grey, became a big hit online. The school's robust arts program provided him with opportunities to hone his skills as a vocalist and instrumentalist. He joined the school choir, participated in talent shows, and even formed a small gospel group with fellow students. However, the path to musical success was far from clear. Jonathan's mother, while supportive of his passion, stressed the importance of education as a foundation for any future career. Torn between his love for music and the practical considerations of academic success, Jonathan found himself at a crossroads. Jonathan often struggled with his feelings, a theme that would later show up in his music. The conflict between his faith and his doubts, and between his worldly goals and his spiritual calling, became the source of many of his most powerful songs. After graduating from Whitney Young in 2007, Jonathan enrolled at Columbia College Chicago to study music. It was here that he began to seriously develop his songwriting skills, drawing inspiration from a diverse array of influences ranging from Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond, Kim Burrell, Smokey Norful, and Israel Houghton. College life brought its own set of challenges. As a devout Christian in a secular environment, Jonathan often felt like an outsider. He struggled to reconcile his faith with the party culture that surrounded him. It was during this time that Jonathan began to find his unique voice as an artist. He started writing songs that explored the complexities of faith and young adulthood, tackling subjects that were often considered taboo in traditional gospel circles. His music became a form of therapy, a way to process his doubts, fears, and aspirations. Jonathan's debut album, Life Music, was released in September 2012. Life Music was a critical success, but more importantly, it established him as a unique voice in gospel music, one that resonated particularly with young believers who were looking for music that addressed their lived experiences. However, the album's success also brought new pressures. Suddenly, Jonathan found himself thrust into the spotlight, expected to be a role model for young Christians. The introverted musician, who had always felt more comfortable behind a piano, now had to navigate interviews, photo shoots, and live performances. These internal conflicts became fuel for Jonathan's songwriting, leading to his sophomore album, Life Music Stage 2. The album featured collaborations with established gospel artists like India Arie and Israel Houghton. But with this success came new challenges. As his popularity grew, so did the demands on his time and energy. Jonathan found himself constantly on the road, performing at churches, conferences, and concerts across the country. The grueling schedule took a toll on his physical and mental health, leading to moments of burnout and spiritual fatigue. Moreover, Jonathan began to face criticism from some quarters of the traditional gospel community. His willingness to address taboo subjects led some to question his commitment to the faith. These criticisms cut deep, causing Jonathan to question his calling and the direction of his ministry. Yet true to form, Jonathan channeled these struggles into his music. His next album, Make Room, would be a testament to his resilience and his determination to create space for authentic worship amidst life's chaos. Make Room debuted at number 1 on Billboard's Gospel Albums chart and earned Jonathan 2 Grammy nominations. The success of Make Room opened new doors for Jonathan. He began to receive invitations to speak and perform at major events, including the BET Awards and the Stellar Awards. He also started to explore opportunities beyond music, including teaching and mentoring aspiring artists. While Jonathan was enjoying the success of his song Make Room, the pandemic hit the world.
China has identified the cause of the
mysterious new virus.
The first US case has been detected.
We will be standing up Christmas Island as a quarantine area.
Dallas County will move to a safer-at-home order.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Like many artists, he couldn't go on tour or perform live anymore. Instead of seeing this as a problem, Jonathan took it as a chance to think and create new music. The result was his 2020 album, People. It came out during the global lockdowns. Songs like Moving On gave people hope and encouragement during a very uncertain time. Jonathan has faced some controversy about his views on the LGBTQ community. In 2015, he expressed his concern about mixed-gender restrooms, questioning whether it was progress or perversion. This comment led Sir the Baptist to write an open letter to him, arguing that separating people by gender is not a good way to apply Old Testament laws in today's society. However, Jonathan McReynolds has also shown support for the LGBTQ community. He has said that a person's sexual orientation does not determine their value. He believes that many people in the LGBTQ community are talented, and their skills should be appreciated. In 2019-2020, Jonathan faced another significant controversy while serving as a judge on BET's Sunday Best, alongside Kelly Price. During this period, Price took to social media with explosive claims about the personal conduct of various gospel singers and preachers she had worked with. She alleged that many were leading sinful and secular lives, with some even attempting to initiate intimate relationships with her. Price's most surprising claim was that she was the only judge or mentor on the show who wasn't involved in bad sexual behavior. She made these statements public while also criticizing Meta, formerly Facebook, for deleting one of her posts. It's important to know that these were just claims, and Kelly Price did not provide any solid proof to back them up. The controversy caused a lot of talk within the gospel music community and among fans of the show. Jonathan has been a subject of speculation for many years, largely because people are curious about when and with whom he will marry. Some even suggest that he might be gay. In a recent interview, Jonathan stated,
I guess that I can do a lot because I'm single, but I will say that now I'm getting to the point where it's like, I would like more reasons to do the things I do. And that's what good. Family, that's what a wife would provide.
Some conservative voices within the gospel community argue that, as a prominent Christian figure, McReynolds should be setting an example by pursuing marriage and family life. They contend that his single status might send the wrong message to young believers about the importance of marriage. A few tabloids and gossip sites have attempted to fuel rumors about McReynolds' personal life, questioning everything from his dating history to his sexual orientation. It's important to note that these speculations are often baseless and reflect more on the sensationalist nature of certain media outlets than on McReynolds himself. The discussion surrounding McReynolds' marital status has been particularly vibrant on social media platforms. Many fans use these platforms to express their admiration for McReynolds' approach. In an interview with the Christian Post, he has opened up about this loneliness. He said, I quote, "I could be around a lot of people, but still sometimes loneliness sets in when you don't have anybody to come home to and share that with. In those moments of loneliness, that's when a cycle can definitely start," he said. You start seeing things repeated, the same mistakes being made over and over because of that loneliness. And he continues, "I got more busy doing things with God's name on it than doing things for God and being with God. I forgot just like Martha," he said.
This is my Cheesecake Factory theory. When you go to the Cheesecake Factory, the menu's too long.
Right.
And so it takes you a long time to figure out what you want.
Right.
There's too many options.
Jonathan McReynolds continues to be a leading voice in contemporary gospel music. His most recent album, My Truth, released in 2023, saw him exploring new musical territories while staying true to his gospel roots. The album features collaborations with both gospel and mainstream artists, reflecting Jonathan's growing crossover appeal. He's also become increasingly involved in social justice causes, using his platform to advocate for racial equality and criminal justice reform.